Hey there, audio friends, MrAyrit here. Welcome back to the channel, and I've got a video for a brand new product today from Fosi. They did send it to me for free, as well as, this cool 7th anniversary t-shirt. So, take that bias for what you will, but I think this product is one you're gonna all kind of want to know about. This is the ZD3 DAC, the DAC that goes with the ZA3 amps, which I love and use personally. One that I bought myself and one that Fosi sent to me. And then there's another little surprise that they sent me as well, but I'll save that for the end of the video. Let's take a look at this ZD3 DAC. All right, here's the ZD3. Now, ironically, I'm not using it with my ZA3s, but we'll get to that here in a minute. I am using it, however, with the Fosi HDA1 and my little ELAC bookshelf speakers. So I just wanted to show you the unit here first. We'll turn it on here in a minute. They sent me, I don't know how many people will get one of these, but they did send me a little 7th anniversary volume knob, which is kind of cool in addition to the original one. It does come with a little remote here. We'll talk about that here in just a minute as well. The unit, it fits well with the ZA3s. Again, I'm not using it with that, but I just wanted to jump around here and show you what comes on the back of it. As you can see, it is a balanced DAC. It also has RCAs, and there is a coax in, an HDMI ARC in, awesome, an optical in, a USB in, and 12 volt and Bluetooth. And then you can see it's got 12 volt trigger in and out as well. So that's the unit. It's fairly lightweight. The other thing that you need to know about it that I haven't had a chance to try yet is you can swap op amps in this thing as well. I've only had it for about a week, so I didn't have a chance to do that yet, but I will give you my impressions of how this thing sounds just stock as is. Let's turn it on and see what that looks like. All right, so we've got this thing on, and you can see it's got a nice little display here. It tells you, what your source is. It tells you, what kind of audio is coming through. It's got the volume. And, you can then, you got your basic remote functions, right? Volume up and down, input select, mute, all that stuff. You can turn this display on and off. I wish there was like an in-between, dimmer setting, but there isn't one. So those are all the things you can do. Again, you can see how I can cycle through kind of the different stuff here. But I also wanted to show you what I think is brilliant about this is I've got my, little Roku smart TV here, and because I'm using HDMI ARC, right, I can use my Roku remote to control the volume on this thing too, or to mute it. Fantastic. So what this means is this DAC, for all those people in your life that don't want to deal with all this audio crap, they can still just use their regular 1 TV remote if you use this from your smart TV, and they don't even have to realize that they're dealing with an audio device. Isn't that brilliant? I love HDMI ARC. I think this is a fantastic feature and makes this DAC very desirable because you can get away with just using one of these remotes. Makes it a super functional, home theater, just home media center device. Okay, let's talk about how it sounds. Okay, so sound-wise, I don't have a ton to comment on here. It's good enough, is what I would say. Is it the best DAC I've ever heard? No, but it's on par with other DACs in this price range, I would say. I think that with the HDMI ARC, it's a very functional device. I found it to be a little bit bassy, honestly. I feel like it's got a little more oomph in the low end than what I would consider to be just dead neutral. I compared it to the MrAyrit BP50, which I'll be releasing a video here on soon, which isn't balanced, but is an HDMI ARC DAC. And I thought that one was not as bassy, but had about the same level of detail as the Fosi ZD3 with these stock op amps. I also compared it to my Soundcause SGD1, which is what lives in my main kind of home theater setup downstairs, powering that system. And I felt like the ZD3 was bassier, than the Soundcause, but I didn't feel like it had the same level of clarity, space, and detail. Now that DAC was like a $500 DAC new, whereas the Fosi here is like $150-ish. Honestly, I'm not even 100% sure what they're charging for it because it's not out yet, or it just released and I didn't know what it was going to be at. So I think if it's in the $150 ballpark range, like I'm assuming, I think it's a fantastic starter DAC for a home theater setup. I think it's certainly adequate sound-wise for that price, and I think the function of it is tremendous, really, for the price at that value. But it's not replacing my Soundcause. Okay, so I will do a follow-up video with some op-amp rolling though to see if what we can take it up to. Maybe some different op-amps will change my tune. Maybe some Sparkos op-amps will change my tune. We'll see. I'll try those out on it and I'll let you know, okay? The other thing, though, that Fosi sent to me that I wanted to share with you, which I think is super cool, and I'm going to link down to this as well for a Kickstarter from them, is this little volume knob. Check this thing out. Okay, so this is a new product from Fosi here, and this is a Bluetooth wireless volume knob. And why I've been loving this thing so much is because this has been my bedside setup here for the last couple of weeks. HE1000 SE, FIO R7, but it's been driving me a little nuts because I didn't have like a button to push to skip through tracks, and I'd have to look at this screen in the middle of the night when it's dark, and it was, I didn't like having to do that. So I was thinking the FIO R7, which I'll review here shortly, but I was thinking it was a pretty amazing device, but I didn't like having to poke around on the screen at night. Well, then Fosi sends me this thing, and it solves all my problems. It's made of like solid zinc. This thing feels amazing. It's got a good heft to it, so it stays put on your desk. But I can pick it up and set it next to me as well. It's not a button, so it's super solid. This is just a volume dial, and you can see how well it works with the FIO R7, and it would work, the same with your computer or your phone or whatever. But then there is another multi-function button on the other end here, right? So you can then, play, and you can skip tracks, pause, right? I can skip tracks with it, etc. Change the volume. So I have just really loved this little device, and it matches perfectly with something like the R7, which doesn't have like an actual remote that goes with it. So I found this to be a super useful thing. This is a brand new thing that they're releasing. There's a Kickstarter for it. Again, I'll put that link down below. So that's it. Fosi's got the new ZD3 DAC. They've got this cool little volume knob, and it's their 7th anniversary. So they wanted me to release all this stuff today to share it with you. They're having some sales and stuff going on. If you want to go check that out, I'll drop links down below for you. Thanks to Fosi for sending me this stuff to try out. Thanks to you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.